I'm sick of this shitty game. I'm sick of this shitty controller. I'm sick of this shitty console, and I'm sick of working on this shitty video. Just kidding, it'll be good, I promise. I need a break from working on my next video, so I'm going to go outside and pretend to ride this skateboard that only has 2 wheels. That'll help me calm down.
Fine, I'll skate inside.
God, I need is the ace of spades! The ace of spades!
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 was released in late 2001 and 2002 on, holy shit, that's a lot of things. I'll be playing the PlayStation 2 version that is running on newer hardware. I'll talk a bit more about the comparisons later. This was released at a point in time when Activision had seen the potential in extreme sports video games and were attempting to publish a large library of games under the new Activision O2 name, based around other sports such as snowboarding, wakeboarding and BMXing. Most of these games, while okay, were not up to the standard of other games out there, so this new branch didn't last long. Thups 3 boots into the expected skateboard porn montage. This is made even sexier with Motorhead's Ace of Spades playing in the background.
Like a devil, I tell you how you can. You win some, lose some, and do the thing to me.
Everything from Thups 2 is here. Career Mode, Create a Skater, and Create a Park. It's a shame because the Create a Skater is actually worse in my opinion to the previous game. Yes, it technically looks better, but I've always had trouble making someone look half decent in this game. Squares look so ridiculous that I had to put a shirt on him. And it's not even a Square-Eyed Jack shirt that you can get right now from redbubble.com. You're not big enough to sell out. Fuck off! Create a Park is much better though. I was actually able to make something worth playing. A new feature in this game is the tutorial, which would be a welcome addition if you're new to the series. It's fully voiced over by Tony Hawk, and when you complete an objective, he slaughters a bunch of chickens. One of the most important gameplay features of the series was also added in this game, the revert. It allows you to string vert moves together with manuals to form even bigger combos. Now that this imbecile knows how to ride a skateboard, let's check out Career Mode. Same concept as before, complete objectives, complete levels, do a competition and repeat until complete. We've got a heap of new levels: Foundry, Canada, Rio, Suburbia, Airport, Skater Island, Los Angeles and Tokyo. Completing all of them unlocks the cruise ship, and by finishing the Career Mode with multiple people, Warehouse, Burnside and Roswell from the first game can also be unlocked. Other versions, however, may have more or less levels, or different levels altogether. While the Career Mode is fun to play, I can't tell if it's the tighter controls, the difficulty of the objectives, or if it's just because I'm a skateboard god. But this game feels a lot easier than the previous ones. Aside from that, there is nothing for me to complain about. The graphics are good, the soundtrack has its moments, and all of the levels are great, each with hidden areas and lots of interactivity. For example, the Los Angeles level fucking explodes. Not really. You can cause an earthquake which destroys the entire city. That's awesome. Unfortunately for the older versions, the earthquake is already triggered, and any similar interaction in any other levels is either missing or already triggered. Much like Pro Skater 2, completing the career multiple times awards you with plenty of unlockable stuff, the already mentioned levels as well as heaps of characters, magic bums, surfers, demons, dicks, chicks and eyeballs. We also have Wolverine and Darth Maul. Fuck yes! All of these characters have unique special moves and a variety of boards to ride. The guy in the store even reacts differently to each skater. So cool. Hey look, it's the Avengers. This was also the first game in the series to offer online play, which in the early 2000s was such a cool feature. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 is a fan favourite and is also a fun game that still holds up in 2016. I never really liked this game as a kid, but I've grown an appreciation for it. But despite the graphical and core gameplay improvements over Thups 2, I feel like it's on the same level. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 gets 7 out of 10. A year after Thups 3, we got Thups 4, cementing the idea of releasing a new game every year with a different picture on the cover to make lots of money into Activision's mind. This was the last game in the series to have the Pro Skater title, at least until Activision shit the fucking bed. Ugh, we'll get there. Again, I'm playing the PS2 version because it's better. We get some AC/DC, fuck yes, have my babies, welcome to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, a completely new game with a new idea. Before we take a look at the career mode, we need to build our favourite skater, Squares. Creator Skater mode is much better than what the previous game had to offer, and I'm actually able to make a somewhat decent looking Squares. Too bad Creator Park sucks now. Neversoft were clearly getting bored of the format in this series, so instead of the classic 2-minute rounds with 10 objectives, we actually get a proper career mode that can be played with any character. There is no time limit and we have to complete objectives given to us by various pedestrians in the world. This is such a huge improvement. Missions vary from collecting the classic skate letters and trying to beat a high score, to doing various tasks around levels, fun games that can actually be quite challenging, and utilising a heap of new gameplay features to complete objectives. Some of the new moves include spine transfers, skitching, levelling out to prevent falling off your board, and having the ability to string tricks together in a grind or manual by smashing button combinations. Completing these objectives earns you various rewards such as stat points, special trick slots, and money. Money is another new addition to this game that can be earned by completing missions, as well as found in the levels themselves. This can be used to purchase characters like Mike V, Eddie from Iron Maiden, Django Fett, and some porn star, as well as levels, cheats, boards, movies, and objects for Creator Skater. Playing through Pro Skater 3 before getting to this, it is a massive contrast in playstyle compared to the previous game. I've got nothing bad to say about it. If they'd released another clone of the first 3 games, it wouldn't have been anywhere near as good, as that style of game wasn't enough to make the cut on a 6th generation game system. All of the levels in this game are much larger than previous titles, with a lot more activities to enjoy. We've got College, San Francisco, Alcatraz, Kona, Shipyard, London, and the Zoo, which absolutely steals the show. There are also 2 unlockable levels in Carnival and Chicago, which is from Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX 2. Both of these levels also include a heap of unique goals for you to complete. There are only 9 levels in this game compared to the 12 in Pro Skater 3, but that isn't a big deal. Unfortunately, the levels are not as interactive as the previous game. There are no earthquakes or many hidden areas. Instead, there are a lot of mini-games like baseball and tennis, as well as Easter eggs such as hippo sex and prisoners trying to butt-fuck each other. These are all well and good, but I'd personally prefer the hidden secrets in the previous games. Now that I think about it, I'd also prefer the difficulty. This game's difficulty doesn't feel as balanced. I feel like some missions are just too hard or completely worthless. For example, this mission sees 3 containers raised up that you have to spine transfer between and then back again. I press R2 6 times and I win. And this is later in the game. Why? Once you complete 90 missions, you unlock harder objectives in each level, as well as character-specific pro challenges. These are difficult missions that are based off of a pro's real-life accomplishment or personality. Tony has to do tricks between a large gap on a roof, Bob Burnquist does the same thing on a loop with a gap in the top of the loop, Bam rides around Alcatraz in a shopping cart, and Rodney Mullen has to do large combos of all the tricks he's invented. Completing these challenges awards you with pro-specific skateboard porn. Worth it just to see Mullen do his magic. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 is a really good game, and I always preferred it to 3. Well, that changed. I never thought I'd say this, but I actually prefer Pro Skater 3 to 4. I'm not saying 4 is bad by any means, I just don't think it's as good. While there are so many improvements that, on paper, make the game superior, I actually found it to be more repetitive and not as fun overall compared to Thups 3. This is still a really good game though. The positives are so good that they even out with the negatives. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 gets 7 out of 10. Well, that's done. Now I need to go back to playing complete and utter shit. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share. I'm Square Eyed Jack, and have a great fucking day. Thanks for watching.